Hi, I'm Faith Zhang. I'm the lead producer of Thousand Deaths, made by Pariah Interactive. We're an indie game studio based in New York City, Brooklyn, and Mumbai, India. Excited to be here to show the game. So this is our demo, which we just released 10 minutes ago as I'm filming this on Steam. It's called Thousand Deaths, so it's a gravity bending 3D platformer with a narrative portion. So I'll start with the narrative portion of the game to get you introduced to the world and the characters we have. So this is Vayu, Elder Vayu, an older version of one of our main characters. Looking back on life as they're old, and they work at this electronics store in a town called Nowhere's Town. They've been working here for so long, and they're kind of looking back and having regrets of being like, I could have done more. So in this scene, they're looking at what they could have been. They could have been a rock star. They could have become the mayor of the town they were in. They also could have left Nowhere's Town to be with their best friend, Maxie. And they say, my life could have changed that day. And so now we're going into this TV to go into Vayu's Headspace, is what we call it. And in the Headspace, you encounter platforming levels where you play 3D platformers, and that helps you make the decision of what choice you should make during the branching narrative. So you see you've actually transformed into a TV character now instead of Vayu, as the two of you travel together into Vayu's Headspace. We started making this game in 2019, so it's been 5-6 years now. It's built in Unreal. All the UI, the 3D art, the dev is all done in-house by our team. Right now, we have about 10 people on the team, 5 in New York and 5 in India. This portion you're seeing is the tutorial level to onboard you into the game. And so gravity is one of the big components of our game, how it bends as you walk through different platforms. So you'll see in this level that as I walk on turned edges, the gravity moves with me. So I don't die and just fall off, but I can keep walking forward. So the founder of my studio, Prashant Thapin, he worked in television for a bit prior to coming into interactive media. And he could see how TV was a dying medium as time went on, and he saw he worked a lot in VR before he was in video games. He did a lot with a group called Baby Castles in New York City, where they did video games, indie video games, and VR experiences. And he's collaborated with a lot of artists for VR. And I think that opened doors for him to see the importance of interactive media. But VR is not that accessible as a medium to other people. As time has gone on, it has become more accessible now at this point. When he first started, I think in 2015, it was definitely a lot harder to come across VR. VR headsets, right? It's expensive. It still didn't work as well. And one of the reasons he's been interested in video games is that it's a lot more accessible for other people. Prush, the founder of my studio, he's from India originally. And then he came to the States, America, for college. With VR headsets, he isn't able to show his family the experience that you get in it. With VR headsets, you have to be there in person to experience certain parts of the on-site installation. So his family in India doesn't really get to see the work he's been able to do. So video games, however, is a lot more accessible to everyone around the world. So that's why he is interested in it. And that's why we've been making this video game. To us, video game is an art form. It's not just some people view it as just like a pastime. I know parents have opinions on video games, but to us, it's an art form, and I think it's very clear. You can see it in our art style that we have a very psychedelic, very surreal art style, very colorful. That's something that really stands out to people when they see it. But yeah, it's important to us that this is not just a video game, but it's truly an art form. So this part is just the end of our tutorial section. So you want to make a choice, and you're kind of forced with one choice, and Elder Vayu comes in and is like, wait, you actually can't make a choice when you only have one option. And so we'll travel in time and then start the real portion of the game. Most special? Obviously the first thing that stands out, like I said, is the visual art style. It's so fun. Especially as you see me explore the world, which I'll actually do right now. There's just a lot of quirks to it. That like the plants are custom made by us, and they're just so beautiful and nice to look at. And then NPCs are also made, custom made. We had so much fun as the team, like designing them and deciding which ones we should do. So all the art we've made in this game is custom, completely made by our 3D team. Yeah, writing the copy was fun too. The whole process of the game was just really great to explore, and there's like secret parts where you can jump on and like explore, the tight ropes you can walk. Maybe. I'm secretly not actually good at video games, so we'll try my best. But yeah, there's so much fun to explore in this game. So I think another thing that makes the game really special is that you get 3D platforming mixed with branching narratives. So here now we're in the narrative portion, and for gamers who want to be able to truly explore a world deeply, they have the ability to with just how rich the world has been built. This is Nowhere's Town. There's other worlds like Jollywood, there's Levity Falls, and they all have very different art styles, very different colors. And yeah, so if you're a narrative enjoyer, you can definitely enjoy this. We have 3 episodes in this game. This is just the first part of episode 1 in our demo. And each episode has multiple branches, so 4 endings per episode. So you have 12 endings total for the whole game, and once we release the game, we'll also have DLCs as well. So the narrative portion, but then you also do get the 3D platforming, which I'll show shortly as well. 3D platforming, it's great for casual players and hardcore alike. So as I mentioned, I'm not actually that good at video games, but I still find them very fun. I'm able to get through the levels. But if you're a more hardcore gamer, people love speedrunning our levels. We've showcased the game at different game shows like MagFest, India Game Developers Conference, and we'll host speedrun tournaments, and people will come back and play over and over and over again. They've gotten levels down in under 5 seconds, which is so impressive to me because sometimes I can't even finish a level. But yeah, I think the way we bend the genres and combine them is really unique to our game. Game development is not easy at all, but we as a team overcome them, and it's taught us a lot to be flexible, to adapt, and to problem solve. I think we're a really small team. At this moment, we're 10 people, 5 in New York, 5 in India. But when I first started, we were like 7 people. We've definitely grown over the years, even less than 7. And yeah, what's been difficult is just being able to manage all the unexpected problems that come out of developing a game. Bugs just appear out of nowhere. You've built something so solid, and then you make a new feature, and that new feature completely affects your architecture in ways you did not expect. You have to go back and test and QA and redevelop the iterations of it. Something that we also weren't expecting was how hard localization would be. we want to localize to about 15 different languages. So finding contractors, finding the right people to work with who understand the tone of the game, and then having to QA all the separate languages. There's just so many aspects to game development that we weren't expecting, as this is our first game ever. So we've learned a lot along the way, but I think the great part about that is it's taught us how to adapt and problem solve. One of the great parts about the team is that everyone has so many skills. So the previous producer has composed a lot of the songs in the game. One of our developers, Luna, has also been critical in helping us compose songs in the game. Sometimes I help with UI, I help with marketing. The founder of our studio also does UI, he does sound mixing. We have a really incredible 3D artist who's also great at drawing and helps with some of these graphics. Our developers also know 3D modeling, they know technical art. Everyone is so well-rounded, and there's so many roles that we need to fill to make a game, and I'm very fortunate to work with such a great team that we all get along so well, and we're also able to just work together and complete the levels. Yeah. So right now, here we're in the first headspace, the real headspace of the game. And you can see these are more puzzle platformer levels where we're playing with gravity a lot. Vayu, the character I just was, is a air character. Oh no. Okay, we'll redo that level. It's called 1,000 Deaths for a reason. You're gonna die a lot, but it's okay, not consequential. But yeah, the characters of the game and the choices you make also impact the platforming designs. So later you'll see Maxi, who is a fire character. There's going to be a lot more fire lava balls inside the game. We also have Boga, who is a water character, and Terry, who is an earth character. So the characters will determine some of the mechanics of the platforming levels. And yeah, when I complete a headspace, one of the two options will unlock. And after the platforming levels, that's when I make the decision in how the narrative will continue. So here you collect these broadcasts and you can watch them. They're just like little Easter eggs that we have throughout the game. So this is Maxi, who is also in my headspace. My as in Vayu's. And so now I'll enter Maxi's headspace. And the point of these headspaces are, for me, as you saw in the previous storyline, that Maxi wants Vayu to go with them to move to Jollywood. But Vayu has grown up in Nowherestown their whole life, and it's hard to leave a place you know so well and you have such important ties to. So every time a character is brought into a conflict, they are soul swapped into a TV where they're brought into their headspace. And as we play the platforming levels and talk to some of the NPCs in there, you understand a little bit better, and you watch these broadcasts, understand better the whole scenario and which decision you should make at the end of the conflict. The demo just came out on Steam, and you guys can play it. It's super fun. I know here I'm showing mostly the narrative portion, but we also do have an arcade mode. And like I said, so the arcade mode has levels like these. This level I think is a really great example of some of the ones we have in the demo. It's definitely more exciting than some of the previous level I showed earlier, which are more tutorial based. So if you really like 3D platformers, you'll really enjoy our arcade mode. We have speedrun channel in our Discord that you can join, and people have posted insane speedruns, like completing stuff in under 5 seconds. And yeah, join the community. Would love for you to try it out and let us know what you think of the game. 1,000 Deaths will release this summer on Steam, and then eventually we'll have other consoles, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, but at the moment it will be out on Steam in June of this year, 2025. If you're interested in following along, you can follow Pariah Interactive on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. any sort of social media, we are there, 小红书, and that's where we'll post updates about the game.